Today I want to share with you this solar street light, and basically what you have here is 6500 lumen street light, and I've done a bunch of different ones of these, and these things are really cool. So if you've never seen one before, this is pretty awesome. I particularly like to mount them on the side of a 2x4 or something like that. This one we're going to go see if we can mount it as close to my neighbor's house as possible and wherever he wants it to go, and that's where we'll do our final testing. I've already done some testing, and I've used the remote and done a distance test and some other things. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and turn this on, but I'm not doing it on the camera facing it because it gets really bright. This thing is very strong. And now I have a remote here, and I can turn it on and off simply by pushing the button. At close distances, it works pretty much, standard, just like you can kind of point it in the direction. It has an infrared, and so at long distances, I used it roughly at about 60 to 65 feet, and I didn't test it any farther than that, but that's plenty good enough for me. I don't need to test it any further away than that, because literally I'm going to walk right up to it and just push the button and set it however I want. So let's go ahead, and I will set this down, and I'm going to turn this off because sometimes if you block the sensor, it'll come on because it thinks it's nighttime. Now, on the remote, you have some different settings, and the one that I will be using is the first setting, which is the 15%, and then it'll come on bright when it detects motion, and then after about, I think it says here, 12 seconds, it goes off. So I didn't exactly count it, but held it out, and it went off, and then moved again, and it came back on. But it senses the motion really well, and that's all that's really important. Now, there's other modes, and you can set it at like 2-hour or 3-hour or 4-hour, or you can set it on a conservation mode. The conservation mode might be another option too. One thing that you have a problem with these lights is if you live in an area where it's cloudy often, which I do. So during the winter time, a lot of my lights will run out of power before morning, and that's not unusual at all if you live in a cloudy environment. Now during the summertime, that probably won't be an issue because nights are so much shorter and there's so much more light. We also live in a canyon, which also cuts back that last couple of hours of light. So that is something to consider. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to install this on my neighbor's house or wherever he wants that. And then we'll finish the video over there, and I'll use my cell phone, which has night mode, and then of course this wonderful microphone. But we'll see you there, which will actually be tomorrow. So we've got this light installed on my neighbor's fence here, and it is up at about 15 feet. This is the full power mode, and look how well this whole area is lit. I'm going to go ahead and push the cycle button to go to 50%, and still incredibly well lit. And at 50%, it might last a while, but we're going to set it on the motion sensor mode here and see how that works. It should go off after 12 seconds if I stop moving. Or not. Now you can see the mode on the light is on low power mode, and then I'm going to go ahead and move, and it should kick right back on. And there we go. That is exactly what we're going for. So when he comes out to take his garbage out or open and close his fence at night, he'll easily be able to have lighting.